Hi everybody and welcome back to 30 Days of Technology. Today we're going to be talking about something really important to all of us and something we tend to neglect. That is of course sleep and how we can use technology to aid our sleep. Sleep is a real concern for us. So how we use technology to manage our sleep and to manage our rest really is important. A good night's sleep is not something that's hard for certain people. I've worked with people who could literally lean up against a post in a store and fall asleep. I know people who go into bed and fall asleep 5 minutes later no matter where they are, what's happening in the room, and I often wonder how they do it. Because there's people like me who will go to bed and look at the ceiling for hours because our brains simply won't shut off. Now, there's lots of things we can do as insomniacs to alleviate this. There's obviously the first and obvious one, which is the medical route. The problem I had with the medical route when I went down that route is it started with a half a pill, then a full pill, then a pill and a half, 2 pills, etc. It's the only way to sleep. You could not sleep without these pills. You were essentially making yourself dependent on them for life, and let's not talk about side effects as well. I've tried going for walks before bed. Definitely not looking at your phone or your TV within about a half hour of going to sleep makes a huge difference as well. The bottom line is this. Even if I fell asleep at night because I was exhausted from the night before, I often woke up at 2 or 3 a.m. and I was up for 2 or 3 hours. My brain was on full bore loop. Tons of stuff were going through it, thinking about my work, thinking about my family, thinking about some little project in the garage I haven't touched for 6 months that now needs my attention. That's the way it is. So I decided that I was going to do something about it last summer, and I started to do something about it. I'm going to share with you one of the pieces of technology that I used to control my sleep and to feel better. The first thing I did was, as I mentioned, not watching TV, not reading, not doing anything overly stimulating before bed. I also started to program the circadian rhythms of my lights so they'd start to actually dim down around 10:30. It was one of the ways of telling my body that it's time to go to sleep. Now, if we go back historically, we were people who followed the cycles of the sun. So when it was darker earlier, we go to bed earlier. When it was darker later, we go to bed later. It's just natural to do that. So by actually controlling the lighting environment in your home, you can replicate some of that natural stuff at home and actually help yourself. But to me, the most effective thing out there was this. This is a little device called Dowdow. And I think it's one of the neatest little devices out there for people who have trouble sleeping. Let me explain to you how and why it works. One of the methods that you can use to fall asleep when your brain won't go to sleep is to control your breathing. There's a lot of historic evidence from all sorts of cultures all over the world that controlling your breathing actually helps you maintain calm, helps you sleep better, and helps you feel better. The problem is if you're woken up at 2 or 3 in the morning, you can't control your brain as easily as you think. Because if you could, you wouldn't have woken up at 2 or 3 in the morning. So I tried to focus on my breathing, and what ended up happening is after 30 seconds, this loop of stuff entered my brain that was in there before. Squirrels, as it were. What I like about this device is you'll notice a pulsating light on the top. It's a blue light, and what this actually does is it shines up on my ceiling. And how this device works so well is what you do is you look up at this blue circle on your ceiling. So first of all, you have something to look at. Second of all, you actually breathe based on when that circle gets brighter and dimmer. So what you're doing is you're not relying on yourself to manage your breathing. And as a result of watching that, you're distracted from yourself. How effective is it? I can fall asleep with this thing in 8 to 10 minutes. Now we're going back to a time when I couldn't fall asleep for 2 or 3 hours. So yes, I still get up in the middle of the night sometimes. And when I do, I don't stress too much about it. This thing sits on my night table, I press the button, and away I go. My kids also have sleeping issues, and don't tell anyone, but they're going to be in their stockings this year because they really are an effective way to control sleep. So this isn't like smart technology or whole home technology or anything like that, which we usually talk about, but it is technology. And if the purpose of technology isn't to make our lives better, what is the purpose of technology? If you have problems sleeping, I'd highly recommend you have a look at this device. It's made a world of difference for me. I have more energy during the day, I'm more productive, and my family will tell you I'm in a better mood. So if you'd like to experience some of this success as well, check out Dowdow. They're on the web, you can check them out, and I hope you get a good night's sleep as well. For 30 Days of Technology, my name is Mike Freedman, aka the Insomniac Elf, who talks about technology. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've enjoyed this video or any of our other videos, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking or commenting on our videos, and certainly telling your family and friends.